Hey there and welcome to the club. Today I'll be showing you how to draw the Scarecrow from Batman Arkham Knight. Let's get started in the middle of our page with the eyes. I'm going to start on the left side with a curve for the eyelid. So we're going to start on the outside and just curve down and in. From here I just want to turn this up for the frown line. I'm just going to blend this into a curve going up. We're going to take that and flip it over on the right side. So we want to leave a little gap in the center, lining up the top, curve down the little frown line. Now I'm going to curve up in the opposite direction, curving up and then out. Underneath the brow, we're going to draw in two half circles for the eyes. Starting on the left side, we're going to step in, so there's a little overlap, curve around, and then right in towards that frown line. And do the same thing on the right side, starting on the inside. Now I want to add a little bit of a bag underneath the eyes. So on the inside of this left eye, I'm going to curve down and then pull that out. We'll do the same thing on the right. Just underneath the frown line, I'm just going to draw a little curve just for some added wrinkles going outwards. On the outside of the eye, I just want to draw an extra wrinkle, just a little curve on the outer edge. Now we're going to move in between the eyes and draw on the nose. So starting at the top here, we're going to draw a little point. We're going to curve down the left side, curving outwards. Do the same thing on the right side. I'm going to flatten off the bottom by just drawing a slight curve going in, leaving a little space in the middle. Now in the middle, I just want to curve up and in towards the middle to a point. I'm going to color the inside of the nose in black. Now directly below each eye, I'm going to draw two big circles for the gas vents. So starting just underneath the left eye, I'm going to draw one big circle. This is almost about the same size as the eye. I'm going to go to the right side and do the same thing. So we're going to line up the top. Now I want to give these vents some thickness. So I want to start at the top on the left side, just curve on the outside edge. Just curving out so it gets a bit wider as we come down on the side, and then just taper back towards the bottom. We'll do the same thing on the right, starting from the top, curve out, and pull that back in. We're going to draw a smaller circle on the inside, just for a little bit of trim. And then in the center, we're going to draw a smaller circle. We'll color that in black. Let's do the same thing on the right side. Starting with that trim. And then in the center, we'll draw a smaller circle. We'll fill that in black. I'm going to draw a few more circles around the outside. So starting in the center here, draw a small dot. Go directly below, draw another dot. Go on either side, draw two dots. Now in between, we're going to draw a smaller dot. So we create a ring of circles. Let's do the same thing on the right. So starting at the top, coming down to the bottom, and then on either side, and then right in between each of those little dots. Now we're going to tuck the mouth in between each of these vents. So starting with the stitches first, I'm going to start with these angled lines that just sort of randomly go across the face. Starting on this side, we're just going to draw an angled line. We're going to round out the end and just come down beside it, and then connect it at the bottom with a rounded curve. We'll draw another one. We're just going to change the angles as we go across, and it can be various length as well. Draw another shorter one, maybe angling this out further towards the right. We'll draw four of these, so let's draw one more up here. Coming around, and then down to the bottom. Now I'm going to tuck the top of the mouth in behind these stitches. So I'm going to start beside this little vent. I'm going to draw a straight angled line going down in behind the stitch, and we're just going to alternate. We're going to go down and up along the top edge of the mouth. Now we're going to do the same thing along the bottom. Starting up here, go in behind, go up, down, up, and then down behind the vent. In between the top row, we're just going to add some teeth. I'm just going to draw a little curve in between the stitches. Down, back up, until we get to the end. We're going to do the same thing with the bottom. So down here, it's going to draw one curve in the center. Continue this in between the stitches. Now I want to go in and fill the inside area in black. So just in between the teeth. Now underneath the stitches in between the vents, I'm just going to draw a curve from left to right, just for the lower part of the chin. Now from here we could draw the inner part of the hood. So starting directly on the left side of this vent, we're going to curve around and up just over the left eye. Curving up. Do the same thing on the right. So starting in the center, curving around the eye, and then up. We're going to connect those 2 points by rounding out the tops. We're going to come down in towards the middle, and then we're going to round out the bottom. So coming down, and back up on the right side. Just up here, it's going to accentuate the brow. So I'm just going to draw a curve above the left eye. Do the same thing on the right. We're going to accentuate the cheekbones. So just beside the left eye, right up against the hood, we're going to curve down and then in behind that vent. Do the same thing on the right. Then add the lower jaw. So stepping back, draw a curve going down the sides. Now we're going to color those areas in black. I want to add a few more wrinkles around the eye. So I'm going to start on the left side, right up here. I'm just going to draw a curve going up. Draw a couple shorter ones. Maybe one right up against it. We'll do the same thing on the right. These can be varied. You can alternate long and short. We can do the same thing along the bottom. So just adding a couple along the bottom here. We have one more on the inside going up. So now that we've got the inside of the face, let's draw on the outside of the hood. So I'm going to start on the side here. Right here, we're going to step down and curve the bottom, going out. Do the same thing on the right side. I'm going to round out the inside and come in. Coming in on either side. And we want to bow this back out. Just blending to a curve going up. And again, rounding this out and going up towards a rounded point at the top here. I'm just going to aim with a curve going up right and towards the middle. Now I'm going to do a hard turn coming down towards the right. And then just rounding out that end. Just want to add some stitches on the side here. So from the left side, I'm going to curve down towards the top of this curve. Do the same thing on the right. We'll add some stitches along here. So just a series of little short dashes all the way along that line. Do the same thing on the right side. I'm going to draw a little wrinkle in the top of the hood right here. So left to right, we'll just draw a short curve going across. Okay, so now that we got the head, let's work our way down the body. Scarecrow has a series of 3 tanks in the center of the chest. We're going to have to start with this first. So in the middle, we're going to leave a gap. On either side, we're going to draw 2 vertical lines right in the center. From the tops, we're going to connect it with a curve. And we'll do the same thing with the bottom, curving down and then up. We draw 2 more curves going out towards the tanks on the left and right. We draw 2 short lines on either side of the same length as we have in the center. Now we're going to curve down and connect towards the inside. Let's add a little bit of detail in the strap. So from the top, we're going to step down, just draw a curve across all 3 tanks. We're going to step down and do the same thing, curving down and then back up. Now at the tops of these tanks, I'm just going to draw a little half circle, a little nozzle. And then we're going to draw some hoses going from the head in towards the tank. So let's start on the left side. I'm going to curve this one over. This way, so one curve, stepping over, draw another curve. And then inside, we're just going to draw a series of little curves from left to right, going across the hose. We'll draw one going in the opposite direction, curving up. Then again, we're going to draw the little curves to show the curvature of the hose. And then this one, we're going to curve in the opposite direction, curving up underneath the head, on both sides, and then curving some lines across. Right up at the top here, we're going to add 2 straps. So right beside this nozzle, we're going to curve up, and underneath the head, we're going to step down, draw that same curve. Let's do the same thing on the right, curving up on both sides. Now let's continue and work our way down the body. So from the side corner of these tanks, we're going to step in and draw 2 short lines coming down towards the top of the belt. Now I'm going to connect those 2 points with a curve, but we're just going to overlap this line slightly, just on the ends. Just extend that line a little bit. In the middle, right here, just going to add a straight line for the seam of the coat. Now let's draw on the belt. So right from this corner, we're going to curve out and then down. Do the same thing on the right side. We're going to curve in and leave a gap in the center. Curving down and in on both sides, right about there. We're going to go straight up underneath the top line. Now about halfway along this line, we're just going to draw a curve going across for the belt. We're going to add a little buckle in here. So 1 line on the left, 1 line on the right. On the inside of this rectangle, we're just going to trace out the inner part of the buckle. Now let's add some detail to the pouches. In this little area here, we're just going to split this in half with a curve. Do the same thing on the right. And then in each of these pouches, I just want to draw a little flap. So I'm going to draw a little curve going across the middle. Across each of the pouches. And then at the base of the curve, we're just going to draw a little circle for a button. Okay, now that we got the body, we can tuck the arms in underneath. So let's start with the left side here. This arm here has this big giant glove with all these needles in it. So we're going to have to start with a big tank on the forearm first. So the arm's going to come down this way. So right up in here, we're going to draw a curve. Going across like that. From these 2 points, we want to angle down with a straight line. Coming down and out. We're going to round up the ends. Coming in towards each other. Now I'm going to connect those 2 points with a curve. Going up and then down. Now up here, I'm just going to finish off the top of the arm. From that corner, I'm going to step in, just curve in towards the top of that strap. I'm going to add a little strap up here in the arm. Up here, we're going to curve down in towards that corner, step up, and just draw that same thing. Right in here, we're going to draw 2 angled lines for a little buckle. Now in this area here, I just want to show 3 little openings for the little liquid gas inside. So we're going to start on the side, we're going to curve the top, and then just come down with a straight line, and then round out the bottom. We're going to do the same thing on this side. Round out the top, come down with that angle, and then round out the bottom. I want to add 1 opening in the center here. So we're going to start with 2 angled lines, side by side. We're going to connect the bottom with a curve. We'll connect the top with a curve. Now let's add in the hand. From this corner, I'm going to draw in the thumb first. We're going to curve around to a point, and then we'll curve that back in. Now right from that wrist line, I'm going to draw a straight line coming down. On the outside, we're going to draw that same straight line and that same angle. Now between these 2 points, I want to draw 4 little curves going across. So we draw 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Up in here, we're just going to draw a little strap. On the outside, we're just going to curve in towards the thumb. Now at these 3 points here, we're just going to draw a straight angled line going in behind that strap. And on the tips here, we just want to draw a little pointed needle. So starting here, just going to draw a straight, sort of like point. Starting at the tip, going out to a point, and then pulling that back. Do that 4 times across the fingers. So now that we got this on, let's go to the right side and draw a simplified arm here. There's no glove on this side. So we start right beside this tank. We're going to curve down and out. It's going to draw on the thumb, curving around, just like we did on the left side here. We're going to curve that back in. We're going to overlap that line just slightly and curve in the opposite direction for the first finger. We're going to curve back, up. We're going to step down, draw another curve to another point. Curve that back up. Do the third finger, we're going to step down, curving down. Now this arm is going to go all the way up behind that little strap there. So we're going to curve out, aiming towards that point in the strap, all the way up towards the top. Let's add some detail in here. So we're going to add a little fingerless glove. On the thumb, we're going to draw a little curve. And then on these fingers, we're going to curve down and back up. Up here in the wrist, let's curve to the outside for the edge of the glove, step up, just draw an extra trim, add some stitches in the cloak here. So right on the outside of the arm, we're just going to curve in, step down, and we'll curve out. And then along here, just like we did with the hood, we're going to add some little hash lines for the stitches. Okay, so we finished the upper body. Let's work our way down towards the lower legs. So in the middle, I'm just going to draw in the inside of the coat. So right in the middle, we're going to curve down and out towards the left, and then just pull that down. Do the same thing on the right, curving down and out, and then we'll just hook it back down. Underneath the belt, we're just going to curve to these points. So from that corner of the belt, we're going to step out in and curve down towards that point. We'll do the same thing on the right, curving down. Now we're going to tuck in the legs in behind the cloak. So in the middle, we're going to step down, draw a curve from left to right for the lower torso. Now we're going to draw the inside part of the leg coming down towards the boot. So on the left point here, we're going to step over towards the right, curve down. Do the same thing on the right side. Now we want to draw the cuff of the boot. So from here, we're just going to curve up underneath the cloak, all the way underneath like that. Now from these points, I'm going to draw an angled line coming in towards each other. I'm going to curve the bottom. So I'm not going to go all the way up underneath the coat. I want to leave a little bit of space because I want to show the outside edge of the boot. So right about there, take this point and angle in, just in towards the corner of the leg. Now let's draw in the boots. We're going to continue this line underneath the cuff, down towards the heel. Do the same thing on the right side. So you see this line is continuing in behind this little cuff. We'll draw on the bottom of the boot, from the heel to the toe, draw a curve, and draw the same thing on the right side. Now from the toes, we're going to curve up the top of the foot and then down. So on the left side, we're going to curve up and then down, just aiming towards that heel. We'll do the same thing on the right. So right here, we'll curve up and then down towards the toe. Underneath this cuff, we're going to curve forward, curving out towards the top of the foot. Let's add a little bit of trim. So taking this curve and just duplicating it right above the bottom of the foot. Just like that. We'll add some straps to the legs. So right in here, draw a curve, step down, and just duplicate that. Draw the same thing on the right side. Just curving twice. Now I want to show the back side of the cloak. It's all ripped up in the back here. So I'm going to start from this corner. Just draw a squiggly line going in behind the leg, and then in between the legs, and then out towards the right corner. I just want to go in and color in these areas in black, just to accentuate the legs, the shape of the legs. Finish this off on the right side. And that's pretty much it. There's the Scarecrow from Batman Arkham Knight. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Make sure you subscribe and send us your requests in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.